Welcome back to another exciting episode of Fields of Discussion, the agricultural show that brings you all the innovations in farming today. Brought to you by Carbon Chemicals. I'm your host, Dayne Parker, and with me today is...
And I'm Jonnoy Johnson. It's great to be here, Parker, right? I'm very excited to basically discuss all the products that we have lined up to talk about, right? In today's episode, we'll cover some of the pressing issues that farmers are facing in the field, Parker, right? And highlight upcoming activities and events you don't want to miss. We'll also shed some spotlight on a standout farmer and feature a product that could be a game changer on your farm.
Excellent, guys. But in case you're wondering what the topic of discussion, of course, we are going to be talking about hydroponics. We would have done a previous YouTube session on that in terms of the different types and so on. But today, we're going to be diving deeper and feature, of course, the different products we have, as Jonnoy mentioned, and our grow tower system that we have here at Carbon Chemicals. So the nuts and bolts of it are going to be dissected for this episode. So this month, Jonnoy will be featuring two farmers, and these farmers are hydroponic farmers. They would have been doing significantly well for themselves. And of course, we want to give them a big shout out. Want to say keep on shining the light, and of course, continue to grow with Carbon Chemicals.
Yes, big shout out to Christopher Brahma and Hope Singh. Congratulations and keep up the great work.
Excellent stuff, guys.
All right, so this lovely setup you're seeing in the background is courtesy of our farmer here, Christopher Brahma. Just for discussion's sake, Chris, why did you go hydroponics? What are the benefits you're seeing, and how has it been thus far?
Well, the reason why I go hydroponics is because you get a faster turnover. You can reap harvest in a shorter period of time than the regular. It's more expensive, but it works out because you can reap back within 4 weeks of transplanting.
So compared to your conventional setup, what would have looked like for you in terms of timeline?
Can work out. It just take a little bit more time, but it is better than no weeding, no labor labor costing. You can't get workers, so it works out better for me because I don't do no weeding whatsoever. So it works out better.
So no weeding, no molding, no need to add fertilizer in your tank. Basic work here and now. So this is light work once you set up and you move to. How about harvesting? How is that facilitated? Easy as well?
Easier.
You just move through and harvest.
And transplant back right away.
Same day, same time.
Same time.
I mean, again, efficiency.
Yeah.
Talking about how many plants are we looking at on perhaps a table or in this general area?
Table is maybe about 1,000.
Okay.
About 1,000 plants on a table.
Okay.
And you pretty much get half pound per plant.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at 500 pounds.
And then as you harvest today,
you can plant
back today or tomorrow morning.
It depends on the time. Because I'm going to harvest shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to plant back tomorrow.
So had it been in soil, guys, you would have had to prepare back those beds, take up the irrigation lines, do several bits of work, weeding, molding, perhaps putting in mulch plastic again. So all around you're getting a faster turnaround. So competitive advantage, despite the fact that the initial cost, but you do recover in the long term. And then you're talking who can beat efficiency? Nobody. So I mean, you do mostly lettuce, I realize, but I see you're doing some pak choy and I see some scallion and onions. What's that about? You think it venture into other crops?
Well, if the market requires it, yeah, sure, no problem.
Indeed. So you see, flexibility, you can even switch through. Yeah. I mean, and adapt and to do other things in the same space and still come through in terms of harvest and in terms of timeline and productivity. Congrats. These are excellent plants. They're looking quite lovely, lush and green. And I suppose, when your consumer gets these, what's the feedback there from that end?
I love them.
I love it.
Love them.
And the demand supply, how is it?
Well, it's good. The problem is to produce.
So that means there must be some expansion plans in the pipeline.
Yeah, man, we're setting up systems as we speak.
Excellent, excellent. So you see, guys, once you get into it and the efficiency and the turnaround time, then automatically your very same clients or more persons will come on board and start to ask some more. So, you know, it's all about efficiency. It's all about productivity. Because this same land, we're getting more per cycle and even more crops over the same period of time. So you're getting all around. You cut off 2 weeks. So that 2 weeks now gives you an additional crop cycle where you can plug in, and then that long-term benefit in terms of that continuity is always there. Thanks again for being on the program with us, and we look forward to continue to working with you in terms of growing your business.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so we're here with Upton Singh. He's the owner operator of Hydro Gardens Jamaica. How does your hydroponic setup aids in terms of your productivity levels and your crop performance, and what are the benefits, if any, that you're seeing from all that you've invested in?
Okay, so the hydroponic setup allows us to control all of the parameters as it relates to nutrient management. You know, we can precisely control the EC and pH for what goes out to the plant. And if we need to make changes, we can do them instantaneously.
Okay.
Just by making changes in the nutrient tank. So it gives us 100% control of the nutrient management. And usually, if we come out here and we have a good crop, it's usually indicative of the nutrient management skills that we employ.
So the performance is directly related to nutrient management. Right. So in a hydroponic setup, how do you monitor ECPH? How do you go about doing all of that?
So we have a continuous read meter that monitors EC and pH in the nutrient tank. So as you walk through the door, you can glance at it and you can see if there's anything out of range. We also monitor what goes in and what comes out. And so we make adjustments daily, and we keep a record of that. So we want to keep a record because a good crop get better, a bad crop get worse, and if you have a good crop, you want to improve on it and possibly replicate it. But if you have a bad crop, you don't want to do the same mistakes. So keeping those records are very important. So we monitor the EC and pH in the tank and what's coming out from the buckets.
Okay, so what about doing like a SAP analysis, a tissue analysis on these plants to then be able to monitor and make adjustments where necessary?
So in the past, we've done tissue analysis. We've taken leaf samples. Usually it's about 4 or 5 leaves down from the top. We send them off to a lab and they give us a printout. Over the years, we've kind of honed our skills by having that printout and looking at the plants, and you can say, oh, so this is what a magnesium deficiency look like, or this is what a calcium toxicity will look like. And over the years, we've honed our skills with identifying nutrient deficiencies or toxicities from doing that. So with planting the tomatoes, continuously for the past 20 years, we kind of have that.
So you have it all the way back down, so to speak. Alright, so for a Dutch bucket setup, what other crops can you grow in this kind of system that you have here?
We've grown bell peppers, cucumbers, we've done scallions. It's not the ideal setup because of the plant density for scallion, but we do absolutely well in here. Tomatoes, obviously, and we've actually tried cannabis in the past in the Dutch bucket.
Yeah.
So just about any vine crop you can do it here. Obviously, you want to choose a growing system that's conducive with the plant density. Maximize the greenhouse square footage and it's more conducive to plant density. But this works fine for cucumber, bell pepper, and tomatoes.
Okay, wonderful stuff. So in a situation like this, this is a fairly large expanse. What then would be like your productivity levels that you're targeting for each crop cycle?
Okay, from about 10,000 square feet here, our best crop has been about 20,000 pounds of tomato over a 4-month period. So That's a pretty good yield
Okay, wonderful.
for this square footage.
Mhm.
That's usually a winter crop. By
Okay.
comparison, a summer crop, you'll get about 3,000 kgs.
Okay.
We still have to do a summer crop because the demand is there. With the higher prices will offset some of the reduction in yield. But ideally, the winter crop is when we make our best crop.
Excellent, excellent. So there you have it, guys. We're talking about hydroponics. This is Dutch bucket, another method of establishing your crops. If you choose to so invest, then of course you have the options that we've been highlighting. You'll of course recognize that there's a need for crop selection and there's the space, managing your nutrient management setup, and all through that, of course, you can always consult the local teams to get the kind of guidance and advice that you need going forward. So thanks again, Sir Singh, and thanks for having us as we continue to produce and grow for years.
I know it's time for our product feature segment, and our emphasis is on the AgaLeaf line. So in my hand, we have the Green Max high nitrogen fertilizers with your NPK and micronutrients. High solubility, high purity, you're getting quality in the packaging. And other products in the line, we have our NutriMax, our Flower Max, and our Root Max. And our Root Max is a high phosphorus blend, ideally for nursery production for persons who are doing transplant in your various crops. And with the AgaLeaf foliar fertilizers, what you're having with all the blends, you're getting that micronutrients, right? So not leaving out the micronutrients, having them packed in a readable form that the plant can easily absorb. So you can do a foliar application, or if in the case that you have your nurseries and want to do a drench, you can drench with the line of foliars from AgaFert.
So guys, the other side of the AgaLeaf line, or AgaFert line rather, is the Agasol. So you have AgaLeaf and you have Agasol. So this, of course, is used as your fertigation or for your hydroponic solution. So we have, of course, different products for different stage of development. So we talk about an establishment phase, that's our 15-30-15, that comes with your high magnesium. You want to stimulate root development while increasing photosynthesis, and you're driving that also with your micronutrients. Additional to that, you can always include your agassiz in your fertigation, so you have that product perfectly well suited to add it to your mix. Now, as the plant grows older, you can switch over to your Agasol 20-20-20, or you can go to another product we're going to be introducing soon. Won't say that secret just yet. Now, the idea here is to maintain that overall development as the plant goes into fruiting and flowering. And as you go into flowering now, your 9-18-36 is quite suitable. All this time, you can always irrigate, or you can use in your foliar system your agassiz. You're increasing your root development, pumping on your amino acids, giving the plant its ideal development. And as you go into fruit development and fruit set, and of course, you're maintaining size and quality, your Agasol 10-5-40 plus your trace element are going to be coming in here. And those products are suited for these different developmental stages of your plant. So built and fit for purpose is the AgaFert line of fertilizers. Whether it be in soil or foliars, think AgaFert. All right, guys, so this is our grow tower system. As you realize, it's about 6 feet tall, thereabouts. Pretty decent in height. You can always set it up as a modular system, meaning each of these segments, Jonnoy, can be taken apart. So if a farmer don't want to go this tall, you can bring it shorter, or even cut it in. It comes with a 2-inch net pot that's inside.
That's a good point, Parker. So you're telling me I can gauge my production
exactly
based on the system. So
yes.
if I only have 10 or 15 plants, I could take off
the portion, exactly,
and just work with that.
And just work with that portion
and scale it up as I go.
And scale as you go, certainly. So it gives you the flexibility of use. As I mentioned, it's a 2-inch net pot. The system that you're getting actually comes with a mini sponge that's inside that for the 60 plants. So you can use a sponge to actually set your seeds in. No need to use potting mix, because that sponge fits exactly to the base, and you just simply insert your plant. Now, what you'll notice earlier too, Jonnoy, yes, go ahead.
Is that sponge able to rewash?
Oh,
and
certainly,
reuse?
it can be
Okay,
reused.
okay,
And
that's
we
good,
recommend and we teach you, of course, how to go about doing that. Now, each of the, it comes with a small reservoir at the base of each of
yes,
your
I
net pots. So it
realize.
fits right here. And what will happen, each time you go through a cycle, you'll have some amount of nutrient accumulating here. So the system doesn't have to run continuously, guys. And that's how your energy saving parameter comes in. So if you notice this, with the system done now, you
Very
just pull it out. There's moisture
Yeah.
right at the base. So that tells you now that after the cycling of your pump,
Yeah.
then nutrient will be retained here.
So wait, so if in case I have this at home and electricity goes, there's a reservoir that the plant can feed from.
Exactly.
Wow, this is
Until
good. That is
your
good. This is
power comes back in. It is powered by a very small pump. No need to consider high energy now.
efficient. Oh.
The system also comes with a timer on it. So all you need to do is just plug it in and set your plans and literally forget it because there's not much to do after unless you're coming to visit and to encourage the growth and to look at what you're doing.
Nice.
So your pump comes as a 24 volt rather pump. So not much power being used, but it's it's a strong workhorse that you have right here. And it lifts the nutrient from your reservoir, and this reservoir is approximately 20 gallons. So you have a nice amount of nutrients that you're going to be using to supply your 60 plants. And what we've seen with this product actually is that this same 20 gallons serve at least for 2.5 crop cycles.
Ooh, that is great.
So by the time you're finished with this nutrient tank, you can grow another set of plants, literally, and be okay knowing that you're growing 60 plants. And this is ideal for leafy vegetables. If you want to do kale, if you want to do your parsley, if you want to do lettuce and pak choy, and if you just want a home garden. So even tomatoes, can come at the base.
Oh,
and then
support them.
You can
hang them.
You can also hang down.
That's good. That's
understand?
Good.
And then you put other crops that are larger there that will not be blown up by the wind.
So Parky, what I'm hearing is efficiency. In all of it, energy. When I even see this setup, this look like it can be connected to a 12-volt battery or solar
it can switch over to DC.
System.
Yes.
Whoa, this now.
And I said it's only 24 volt, and the pump system is not going to be running continuously. So an excellent product. And to match with it, we have our Agrosol fertilizers and Abudam line of calcium nitrate and magnesium sulfate. And all you add to that is just some iron. That's a little bit of iron to top that up, and your system is ready to go. So guys, if you haven't considered home garden, if you're thinking what to do at your home on that balcony, that beautiful terrace that you have there, consider this product to, of course, utilize. And we have the solutions right here for your growing needs.
So, Parker, could I have this outside exposed to the sun, right? Could the material stand up to that?
Yes, indeed. One, it is UV treated, so it will last for some time. And also, as I said, if you're not going to be planting the entire thing out, you can simply break it apart and use each segment, and as you go, you can expand. All right? So guys, here you have our hydroponic grow tower right here at Caribbean Chemicals.
Lovely design. Lovely.
All right, guys, so let's discuss some common issues and resolutions that have been happening in the space. Farmers in and around the area have been complaining about a number of problems on their farms, and so we take this opportunity, of course, to dissect it, Jonnoy, and to help them along with that issue. So we're talking about leaf miners, bee armyworm, issues such as your mites and thrip that has been very much in the space, and of course our ornamentalists have been talking about their sago palms and wondering what to do. So let's take it step by step, Jonnoy. Leaf miner, what does a farmer do? Or what's the strategy that we have here at Caribbean Chemicals?
All right, first is to basically identify the pests. So for leaf miners, what you have there, them feeding in that mesophyll area, right? Eating away that green layer, leaving a clear tunnel within the plant. So once you have identified that and see that the leaf miners are active, what you want to do is to take the next step as to finding the right solution. And we have several solutions at Caribbean Chemicals. So one of the first options is Caprid. Okay. Basically, this is a double action product, so giving you that systemic and contact approach, right? Once you add either your new film P or your exit, you're getting that penetration into the leaf and getting that control. If it's a case that the leaf miner issue is not so severe, you can also reach for your cure,
Okay,
right?
wonderful.
And cure, low application rate, so half to 1 teaspoon per gallon, give that effective control. And listen, growers, I've stressed the use of Newfoundland P and exit. You want to add a superior adjuvant to your mix to get
That's
that
right,
penetration
that's right.
into the foliage. Yeah. And lastly, we have a solution that can basically do a 2-in-1 job.
Okay,
So we have
wonderful.
our carimectin
Yes.
that will deal with the beta armyworm,
Mm-hmm.
deal with your diamond moth larvae,
Okay,
deal with your cabbage loopers, and
Okay.
also control the leaf miners.
wonderful, wonderful.
So it's a very effective product, and we have recently launched it with the active emamectin benzoate, which you can use at a low application rate from half to 1 teaspoon per gallon, Parker. So you're getting your worm control and you're getting leaf miner control from one product. All in one.
Excellent, excellent. So
And here to Parker now. This product has a long residual activity, right?
wonderful.
So you're getting that extended control in the foliage. And once you add the adjuvant, your Newfoundland period exit, you're getting effective control.
Even better protection. So there you have it where your leaf miners and your beet armworms are concerned. Of note, we've seen leaf hoppers popping up. We're seeing them in your sorrel. They are popular on okras. Generally, they are known to be on dasheen. But here and now, we have a situation where it's becoming a problem for our farmers. And so it's about the strategies that we put forward farmers. And you know, that approach will give you the population knocked down and at the same time be on the preventative side. I warn farmers, weeds are around your plot, you know, in between the furrows, get those out, be on your lookout, maintain that physical space, and then you can move to the different chemistries here at Carbon Chemicals.
Good approach,
that, of course, will give you that. So your integrated
pest management
approach is what we're
Always
seeing
good.
here is ideal for you. So, of course, we have our Pegastar. We also have our Cure and our Capri that will work, Caratrax too, but at the same time, we are also saying get control of that physical space that you are growing your crops in. Mites are, of course, popular. We're coming into the warmer periods. This day temperature of those, of course, Jonnoy is assisting with reproduction.
Yeah.
What do we say to a farmer here and now where mites are concerned?
All right. As Parker mentioned, you know, the IPM strategy. So what you want to do is to come in early with the approach. So generally, when you have that lush green growth in your seedlings, Parker, I mean, if you have a nice hot pepper seedlings, you'll see mites coming in at that stage. Because what they're doing is feeding on that young growth that has that high sugar content.
That's right.
That they can benefit from. So come in with that early application. So if it's the case that you have the nursery or your nursery operator, you recommend your Cure plus a Nizaran in that early stage.
And I like what you just said, from as early as in your nursery
stage. Yeah.
That's right, that's right.
And what you do now, if it's a case that you have the issue out in the field, what you'll observe is that you're getting bronze in the leaf start to curl downwards, right? And generally the curling will start in the younger leaf, as I mentioned before, right?
Indeed.
So the approach, come with your Nizaran and Cure combination, because the Cure will control the adult stages, while the Nizaran will control those younger stages. So controlling eggs, controlling nymphs, controlling those younger stages to prevent that development into adults, right?
And you just mentioned something, Jonnoy, which I think our viewers would definitely benefit from more. And I want for us to expand on that. Pests do not attack healthy plants because these healthy plants can ward off these pests naturally. So guys, your plants, be it your peppers, your tomatoes, whatever it is, are affected either through stress. You mentioned earlier the sugars are present. And so these incomplete processes are what are attracting the insect pests to your field. So if you have your regular amino acids present, we need to be able to get those plants to convert them from amino acids into your polypeptide chains so that is no longer attractive. If the carbohydrate that is coming from photosynthesis is present and it's just basic sugars, then guys, you need to include boron and those other products into your foliar applications to move those sugars converting them into your your disaccharides and your polysaccharides, giving the plant. And then to watch your use of your nitrate nitrogen fertilizers, because them being present in the plant sap just simply allow them to be very attractive. And so get it done, fertigate right, utilize your micronutrients. And if you're seeing the issues coming up, because you would have been scouting properly, guess what happened? You are attacking the issue early or sooner rather than later.
And Parker, those points are very essential, as we had mentioned in the product feature segment, where we have the agar leaf line and the agasol line, and then we have our agasse. So all of those things that you mentioned, the amino acid, you mentioned the ammonical or nitrate nitrogen, you're getting quality source of nutrients, and that's what you want to start off with.
That's right.
Quality source of nutrients, which you can get from your agasol and agar leaf line, and then you have your biostimulant effect from the agasse that will ease the stress, provide that amino acid for the plant to start out with, so the plant won't have to exert that additional energy to convert those nitrates, right?
Excellent. So
that's good. Good approach.
Indeed. So no, a lot of ornamentalists have been around saying their sago palms are being affected.
Mm-hmm.
Jonnoy, we identified the issue. What's that? And break apart for the viewing public. How do they go about approaching the situation?
All right. So the University of the West Indies have identified as a special form of scales,
Okay.
right, that are targeting, in particular, the sago palms.
Okay.
All right. So what I've done, we have recommended the Caprid plus the Advance.
Okay.
And what they have observed is that they're getting effective control of the sago palms. And what I've stressed before and I stress again, once you add your new Flim P and your exit to that combination, you're getting even a more effective, because the surface area of those leaves are very small,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a waxy cuticle.
All
So
right.
you want to have the right adjuvants to bring that formulation in, right? So persons might have been spraying various products, but you're leaving out that adjuvant ability, right?
And in case you're wondering what's an adjuvant, this is a product in question that is going to enhance or prolong, or at the same time allow for even distribution of that chemistry, that product that you'll be applying to the plant surface. So when you want surface retention, better spreading and coverage, or penetration, then consider an adjuvant. And Jonnoy mentioned our new Flim P. He also mentioned our exit. And of course, we have other adjuvants on the space here. In this case, we're talking about what now? Breakthrough. And we also have our spreader sticker brought to you here from Caribbean Chemicals. So, when you go to your farm stores and you're purchasing, ensure that an adjuvant is in that mix. So
Definitely.
the solutions are out there, guys. It's no time for action. And so we limit the spread by doing our scouting, and then we take strategic action. In the event that you're unaware of what to do, let's go, guys. Reach out to us at Caribbean Chemicals. We will, of course, dispatch one of our team members wherever you are to identify that issue and to provide you with the kind of guidance that you so need. That's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Field of Discussion. Remember, we are here every last Friday of each month, where we break down the issues and resolutions, as well as what's happening in the agriculture sector and around.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. And viewers, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at CaribChemJab. And until next time, happy farming. Fields of Discussion.
Fields of Discussion, where every conversation starts in the soil and grows into a solution.